Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Remains of the day.
Yep.
Remains of the day, Hive, activate.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And we just watched The Remains of the Day. Is that poop?
Yes.
Is that The Remains of the Day?
Mm-hmm.
A man cannot call himself well contented until he has done all he can to be of service to his employer.
For 30 years at Darlington Hall, Stevens the butler has lived a life of perfect order in a perfect world. Now, his world is about to change.
I think it's twofold, right? Like, the phrase is never actually spoken in the film, but like the remains of the day could refer to like the butler being like, I've got to sweep up the remains of the day, like all the bullshit around the house. And also it refers to, the evening and also the twilight of his life, Dave. You see, it works on multiple levels there.
Remember when he took a dump in Silence of the Lambs?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. It's cool
sweet
that there's a scene like that.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. Before we dig into this fucking movie, which I'm so excited to,
oh boy,
we have a patron to thank for this. Some beautiful, beautiful maniac.
Yeah.
Big thank you to
some gorgeous, perfect soul.
Yeah. Big thank you to the scar left by seeing James Woods put a gun in his stomach cooch, which.
It's
I assume is a contact.
Scar.
It's a contact reference, right? Reference to contact.
Yeah. It's a reference to the specialist.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen this movie, Tom.
Neither had I. But I remember when it came out. This is another big important drama, capital letters, that I remember coming out.
Yeah, this is in that era of like today, I think about movies like weirdly Anatomy of a Fall. Movies that like were nominated for stuff, kind of got by, and like I personally love, but it's like in 20 years, someone's going to stumble upon that movie and be like, what's with this? What the hell is this?
Yeah.
That's where it's like maybe you've heard of it all your life, but you've never seen it, Like
The English Patient?
Exactly.
Nobody's seen The English Patient.
Right. It's almost like a gag movie where it's like, serious dramas like The Remains of the Day.
Like The English Patient. They used it as a gag on Seinfeld.
Right. This is Anthony Hopkins.
It sure is, Dave.
Yeah, Christopher Reeves, Emma Thompson. Reeve. Who else? Oh, Hugh Grant's there.
Hugh Grant's in there.
Oh, yeah. And it's
gosh, I feel like I spotted somebody else, but Lena Headey. Fucking Cersei Lannister's. Yeah, she's Lizzie. She's the one that quits to get married.
Away?
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny because my note of her is I was like, she looks like fucking Ray Palpatine.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
And she does kind of they look a little similar, you're right.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't even fucking clock
that was her, yeah. I saw her name in the opening credits, so I was looking at, eyebrows. I've seen him in movies, too.
I don't think he's the eyebrows that I'm thinking of. He's just eyebrows.
He's eyebrows?
Yeah.
He's British eyebrows.
Yes, he's British eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like...
Also, James Fox, who plays Darlington. I know I've seen him in stuff, but I can't quite pull it at this moment, and I'm not looking at Wikipedia or anything, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, there's people in this movie.
It's the writer is the same writer of, I think it's novels. I don't know actually.
Well, it's based on a book.
Yeah, and that book is the same writer as Never Let Me Go. Remember Never Let Me Go?
Mm-mm.
That is.
Which one was that?
That's the. I don't want to spoil. I believe that's the clone one. Let me make sure I'm not full of shit. It's, I believe, yeah, it's a dystopian film where it's basically The Island, but like better.
Oh,
where
word.
like, if I remember, it's about it's like a coming of age romance where a group of young kids are like clones, and like they're basically like, man, I haven't seen it in a while, but they basically are organ donors, like they exist to
The
die.
Island. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The Island.
And without spoiling that movie, a lot of it's about a person, because this is relevant, people where you're watching and you're going like, throw a fucking pipe bomb or two, where you're watching and you're going like, why aren't you doing anything? It's
Do
about people who are
something.
told, it's about people who are told that they have a place in life and they can't break out of that place in life, even in the face of evil, which is why I'm bringing it up in context with The Remains of the Day. Because this is about a butler who is just so fucking British.
He's such a fucking butler, Dave.
Yeah.
There has never been a more butler.
Yes. He's so butler. He just can't not buttle.
Buttle. He has a buttling aura in the air around him.
Yeah, plagued by British. It's interesting watching Anthony Hopkins do this role around the same time. I think it's the same year as Silence of the Lambs.
No, it's 2 years after, but it's the same year as Shadowlands,
Yeah.
which is a similar film about
Weird.
it's where he plays C.S. Lewis, and it's where I forget his poet wife's name, but she dies of cancer.
Yeah.
And it's sort of about the movie is about how that, like, because like C.S. Lewis was super Christian and how that like sort of challenged his faith, his wife dying
Right.
of cancer. So like it's a similar like kind of melancholic romance
Yeah.
in the same year. And also, like, I know I have confused the title of this movie, The Remains of the Day, with The Age of Innocence,
which is a very
which
similar film.
also came out this year and is a very similar film.
Right. There's a general theme of love lost, a inability.
Unrequited love it's held prisoner by the trappings of like the fartiest version of society.
Right. It's a little Dr. Zhivago as well, but Dr. Zhivago is more than that.
It's
But like
separated
it's about
by
like
time and circumstance and war.
right. In this, it's people separated by polite society.
Yeah.
The idea of like, but it isn't. It's improper.
Yeah.
And like it's funny watching this and thinking about Hannibal Lecter. There's some looks he gives that are very similar, because my take on this is he's playing like it's two sides of the same coin almost, where it's like kind of I think he's kind of a sociopath in this.
He is.
Yeah. And so it's like he's lawful neutral in this, whereas like Hannibal Lecter is obviously like chaotic evil, or even lawful evil. Hannibal Lecter is lawful evil, isn't he? Because he doesn't like people who are impolite.
He has his own pretty strict code. Yeah. He's a pretty moral dude. It's just his
Yeah.
own morals.
Yeah, that happen to involve eating people. So like I
He
couldn't
eats
help but
people
to
who are
think about.
rude.
Yeah, it's this guy is like one bad day away from being Hannibal Lecter. I felt like.
Yeah, he's one bad day in a bell tower away, man.
Yeah. So this is it's a Downton Abbey, and what I mean by that
Super
is
Downton Abbey, man.
it starts with possibly the same house, possibly the house they use for all of these. Like I feel like in England there's just one of these, and they're like,
there's probably like 3 or 4, but yeah, I feel like I've definitely seen this one.
yeah, it's like a castle in a movie where it's like, listen, we only have so many castles.
Well, they have so many
Well,
castles.
yeah, that's true.
They're thinner
So-
on the ground in America, so they seem more impressive to us,
Right.
I guess.
It starts with an auction at like Lord Grundleton's house.
Yeah, Lord Bisselwick's in Diagon Alley or some
Yeah.
shit.
Exactly. And Christopher Reeve is
He's bidding on a gigantic portrait of William Shakespeare, I think. Is that who that is?
and then he just bid on the house. He basically buys the house.
He bought the house, yeah.
Oh, he already bought the house.
I'm not sure if, I can't remember if he's buying the house there or, yes, he is because he
essentially buys Anthony Hopkins. He comes with the house.
Yeah, he overbids the guy. That's right. He does buy the house there.
Yeah, they do a fun thing where he just never puts his hand down because he
just nods.
He just keeps it up like this is happening. I'm buying this.
I am so confident.
They don't talk about it much, but it feels like it's like a victory lap for him, where he's like, "I'm going to buy that fucker's house."
It's the spoils of war.
Yeah,
like
basically.
that's not. Yeah, that's pretty. We haven't said. Did you like this film, Dave?
I really liked this film.
It
washes over me the way Age of Innocence did.
Yeah. This is I like this kind of charming, melancholic British romantic drama. It's very, very obvious in its symbolism.
Yes,
I think is my only complaint.
Ending, for a moment, the ending, the bird ending, I was like, I wrote down like, wait, what does that mean? And then a moment passed, I'm like, oh, right. That's I know exactly what that means.
The only thing it means.
Yeah, it can only mean the thing. All right, got it.
Let's let that trapped bird out of Darlington Manor, and Anthony Hopkins is just going to sit there watching it fly away.
Holding the fucking paddle, a fucking ping pong paddle, which I was like, that feels wrong in his hands. And that's kind of, I thought that was the point.
Yes, that's part of the point.
Yeah.
Is now he has to do this. It's all about how he's devoted his life to a dude that probably didn't deserve it.
A guy who sucks.
A guy who sucked, was a Nazi sympathizer. You feel for him. You understand kind of how he got duped and sort of cornered into that position. But he still was an appeasement dude. And so, like, after the war, he's totally disgraced. So, like, Anthony Hopkins has spent his life in service to a man that we see him a few times pretend that he never met Darlington. No, I work for Jack Lewis, the congressman. Yeah. I've only ever worked for Jack Lewis.
And he finally, says, you know what?
Finally admits it to the guy that helps him on the road.
It's I would argue kind of relevant or will be relevant, which is like that question of after things like the Nazis or civil rights like Jim Crow, where it's like what happens to the people who are like full-throatedly like I support the wrong side of history. And like what's interesting is they're talking about a different gradient because there's obviously like he works for a man who's a traitor essentially. They don't say how he dies, but you kind of get a vibe of how he might have died.
It's either dwindling into alcoholism or he blew his own head off.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
It's like, but what's interesting is this is about like what of the people who were cowards. What of the people, and like Emma Thompson at one point literally says, I'm a coward.
Well, this is all my high and mighty principles amounted to, is I was too afraid to leave. I was too afraid to walk out when Darlington dismissed the 2 Jewish refugees because they were Jewish. There
is, Tom, an episode of Deep Space Nine about this, following an accountant during the Cardassian takeover of.
There's a couple of episodes
the Bajorans.
Of original series that touch on the same idea.
The premise is this guy, they get a guy who looks like a famous war criminal, and he turns out to just be an accountant who changed his face because he feels like he needs to be punished as a war criminal for simply doing nothing. Like the idea is he's just living with this like guilt of just sitting in an office hearing the screams.
The fact that he's an accountant is not an accident.
Yeah. I don't know if he was an exact accountant. I think it was something. He's a clerk, a filing clerk, or something like that. But like, the point being that that's basically sort of. I mean, Anthony Hopkins isn't Hitler's butler, but like, it's him. It's him like believing in this hierarchy so hard that he doesn't even count himself at the top of the hierarchy. It's the weird nerds jumping in front of Elon Musk meme. It's like this idea of him like, I believe in this order that I'm not even at the top of.
Right.
And I am a butler.
He thinks there's there's honor he thinks there's good and proper honor intrinsically within duty. Like there's a scene where he talks about the duty of a butler at their little butler dinner, where he's at the head of the butler table and just pontificates about the virtues of being a butler. I'm like, is it just buttling 24/7 with this guy?
Yeah.
Kind of. He does have his quiet time where he smokes his cigar and reads his books.
I was about to say, being a butler manager does seem like a good gig. Like, he lives better than me. He has like an office and like a...
Sure, but he also works 16 hours a day.
Yeah, sorry, superficially speaking, like aesthetically speaking.
He lives in more comfort than you, maybe, but he still lives in a tiny little butler's quarters. Right. He lives in a large opulent mansion, but it's not his.
Yeah. But when the movie begins, it's him also dealing with... So Christopher Reeve is like this American senator who basically was the only one who spoke out against this bullshit when it first started happening.
He's the one telling everybody the world is changing. Like, you cannot... Yeah. Politics is no longer a bunch of stuffy-ass men sitting in a stuffy aristocracy sitting in a smoking lounge, just... handshake dealing their way through global politics. That is not the way it's going to work anymore.
And from the start, you can tell, because this is all about, it's like there's different tiers of the same thing, right? Because Emma Thompson represents and the Nazis in a weird way, which is it's still like a person who's so stuck in this weird hierarchy and knowing his place. And Christopher Reeve is basically this American who buys the house. And at the beginning, he's like, I think I might, go do a butler, but I'm going to Nick Fury some butlers. And Christopher Reeve's like, take the car. And he's like, I couldn't possibly. He's like, nah, man, like that's,
take
you're
the car,
great with it. Like Christopher Reeve doesn't care about the hierarchy is the point. Like, he is just this kind of loud American playing ping pong, being like, he doesn't care about this high society crap through and through. And it goes down to with the butler, where it's just like, you can tell he doesn't care as much about the buttling of it all, where he's like, where he like makes the toast in the morning and he's like, just use one of them fucking newfangled pop-up toasters. And like, he just doesn't care. He's like, what? Just use the new stuff. It's fine. Like, he represents the new way, where Anthony Hopkins is like, no, we must have a full staff. We must do it this way.
Clinging to it, because that's what he devoted his entire life to.
Yeah.
And he gets to the end of his life and realizes it's fucking worthless. Like, a life of service to like, and it's all dependent on this guy. Like, the fact that Darlington winds up being remembered as a traitor, sort of like, good job, like man. Like, sure was good that you were fucking uptight and devoted to the serving this man for your entire life instead of pursuing love with Emma Thompson, you weird old fool.
I love that it's also phrased like the guy's defense is he was tricked by the Nazis, which tricked, I feel like, is a word people are going to be using more when it comes to support of certain things. So it is that idea of like, at best, you're an idiot. You were tricked. A bunch of Nazis came and tricked you. And there's a part where the Nazis are like noting his art. Mm-hmm. And that felt like that was a beautifully chilling idea, which is the Nazis are like, come work with us, but they're quietly taking inventory of the stuff they want of his.
Yeah, he says, make note of that for later.
Yeah, where it's like, no, they're not going to work with you, fella.
Anthony Hopkins is in the room.
Yep.
And he hears them say this.
Yep.
And we know he speaks German.
Yep, and he says nothing.
He says nothing.
Well, you get this vibe.
It's also
of like,
unclear if he does hear it. I mean, it seems like he does. Like, in the performance, that's what Anthony Hopkins seems to be suggesting. But he never lets on that he does. He never shares any of the information he may have overheard.
He never, even at the end when Christopher Reeve is like,
what did I say?
What was that? Yeah, and he's like, oh. and there's this vibe of like,
even when all the pretense is dashed to the earth, right? Like the estate's owned by an American congressman. Like Darlington's a traitor who died in alcoholic disgrace. Like none of the house staff is left. You're the butler that came with the house.
yeah,
You're like a set of car keys, man.
yeah. It's grim because like you do get the vibe thanks to Anthony Hopkins that, and I'm sure it's in like the screenplay or the book, is that like there's the part where the guy brings him in, he starts asking about international politics, and I wrote what he said.
Guy.
He says, "Oh fuck, let's see if I can find
I'm unable to help you with this."
I think he uses the word assistance, but it's basically like he responds like a fucking like an Alexa. He keeps saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. I can't be of assistance to you and the phrasing assistance was key because he's a butler. He's there to assist. He's not there to give an opinion. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I cannot assist you with that. And the implication the guy interprets is like, look at these yahoos. They don't know anything. Why should they have a say in this? Like he's using Anthony Hopkins as like an example of how the common folk know nothing.
Don't know anything about politics. Yeah.
But it's like, does he or doesn't he? They never like. Again, it's like you get the implication of like, surely he must have an opinion on these things.
Well, he looks to Darlington at one point. I can't remember if it's after because he asks him 3 times, like 3 different questions.
Quote,
yeah, I'm sorry.
The same. He says, "No, I found it. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm unable to be of assistance in this matter." Is what he says over and over again. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying I think the dickhead. I wanted to punch this guy in the. He's based on a real guy. They changed his name, but that dude is based on a real guy. Real Nazi piece of shit. Anyway, he asked him, I think, 3 different questions. And at one point, either after the first or second question, he does look to Darlington sort of helplessly, and I'm not. You could interpret it as either, please dismiss me so you can rescue me from this, or do you want me to respond?
Yeah. Yeah, again, to him, it's like, this isn't proper. So
yeah. The fact that he's asking him is like, it's like he's taken aback. He's like it's such a breach of protocol for him.
Yeah, the most he'll ever give anybody... You don't ask me my
opinion on anything unless it's about the house or the staff. Yeah. Sorry.
The most he'll give when he talks about himself is, I'm a bit tired. Like, he does that a few times.
He says the same thing in a conversation with Hugh Grant after he's just received devastating news. Both times in the film where he says, I'm just a little tired. It's after his dad dies. His dad is dead upstairs. And he has to fucking wash fucking Moonraker's feet.
Yeah.
That's Drax from Moonraker, Dave.
Damn right it is.
Fucking hell yeah, he is.
The movie has kind of 3 stages. It has... we see his sacrifice and how deep it is. They start with, I would argue, the deepest sacrifice, which is basically he brings in his father as an under butler. And like the implication from the start, you can tell is like he wants to be near his father because his father is clearly like too
ailing
old and is
also he's getting his father a job. Like his father is unemployable and he's aged to the point of he's not employable in this job anymore.
Right. And his first conversation or his first conflict with Emma Thompson is
she calls him by his first name.
Yeah, and she's like, can you call him Mr. Stevens Sr., please? And she's like, I don't understand. He's an under butler. And like what he's really saying, but he can't say because everything he says has to feel like work, has to be like official.
He has to put it through the lens. He has to launder it through the lens of their job and their position in the hierarchy in the house.
Right. And what he really wants to say is like, listen, do it for me and for my dad. My dad needs to feel a little like he
still has a little bit of his respect left.
Exactly.
And it's not like she says like, well, I'm the head housekeeper and every other place I've ever worked, we call the under butler and the rest of the staff by their first names.
Right, because she's also mad at him because he gave her, it was like he did like a slight on her.
He was a dick in the beginning. Like he's like, now you're not going to come here and then just get married and run off.
Right.
And all this other shit.
And
then she comes in to be nice, and then he really dresses her down for calling his dad William. So they're off on the wrong foot, Dave. Wouldn't you know it?
And the dad is like, he gets confused. He leaves a dustpan, and she goes to clean it up.
Off into the secret door.
Yeah. And she goes to clean it up, and then stops to like
stairwells, but it's never not jarring. Like there's a part later in this movie where Anthony Hopkins is like standing in the corner next to a window, and he's like, "I shall return to my duties," and then he turns and opens the wall like fucking Batman. Like it's so sudden.
This character would have loved Batman, by the way. He would have been like, "That's what I'm talking about, Alfred.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about."
He said he has posters of Alfred on his wall.
And so like there's this like passive aggressive fight where like she starts like not cleaning up after his father to show, and she's a lot more direct. She's more human to him. She's like, will just sort of confront him, and he can't.
She's trying to
talk to her back like a human.
Yeah. Like she keeps appealing to him as a person rather than as the head of the staff.
Right.
Like she doesn't not clean up his mess. Like he leaves his broom and dustpan out, and she doesn't put it away. She tries to like
she picks it up and then puts it back
places
down.
it back. Yeah, she places
she's
it
like,
back.
I want him to see.
Yeah, and she tries to her approach here is to try to appeal to the work side of him, because she's trying to point out, well, look, he put the wrong statue out. He forgot his dustpan.
The wrong racist statue out, or I guess the statue might not have been a racist statue.
No, but she calls it the Chinaman.
Yeah, they keep referring. Which was before you know what the context is, she just keeps saying it. I'm like, is that like an old timey furniture? What is she talking about? And then it's a statue of a Chinese guy, and I was like, oh, I see.
Oh, and that's the wrong one?
Yeah.
What does the right one look like?
Yeah. But yeah, she's trying to appeal. Yeah. She's not trying to get him in trouble with their employers. Mm-mm. She's trying to show him he's making mistakes. And then, of course, they get to a point where, like, every time the butler dad enters a scene, it's like Tim Robinson entering a sketch where you're like, what is going to happen?
The fuck is he going to do this time?
Yeah.
Like, she does flat out say, she's like, look, these are small mistakes, but they're going to add up. Darlington's going to notice, and he's going to get something really important wrong. And it's going to be bad, and you won't be able to cover for him.
Yep, and then he
fucking eats
shit.
A basket of shit.
Real fucking...
In front of all the stuffiest men in the English countryside.
Real Monty Python shit.
Oh, man.
Just this old man with a tray of tea.
Pastes on the ground.
Yeah. It's bad. And the Lord of the House...
It's real bad.
Yeah.
They have to carry him inside. He's a 75-year-old man. It's a stone walkway.
Yeah, he fucking... Have you ever tripped while holding something that you have that moment in the air where you're like, do I maintain the thing I'm holding, or do I catch myself?
Which do I save?
Yeah, and neither happens.
You don't do either because it took too long.
Yeah. Huh? Oh, man, it's one of those.
That's what happens to fucking William.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's bad. It's bad. And like the Lord of the House, who is an asshole and a Nazi collaborator, don't get me wrong, they don't make him out to be like mustache twirling. So he's like, yeah, just take him off of some duties, where he's not fire your, like it's not that. He says
the thing that Emma Thompson was trying to tell him. He says, it's like, well, look, just place him on lighter duties that he can do, like turning down beds and stuff.
He's like, we're going to have some Nazis
We're going to have some Nazis here,
thing.
And I really have to impress them.
So he has to demote his own father. And his father, and you'd think like there's going to be drama, but his father is also like him. So he's like, yes, put me in my place, son. It's that vibe where he dies apologizing. His father does. Mm-hmm. And so basically he ends up, he like collapses on his mop cart, which is brutal. Brutal
scene,
shot. Yeah.
That shot, and then the two maids kind of peek out because nobody's sure what to do. They don't want to touch him.
Yeah, and then basically, like, while the Nazis are there having this important meeting, he's being told your father is dying, and I think he misses his actual death.
He
but
does. Emma Thompson comes downstairs and it's like, I'm so sorry, your father just passed. Do you want to come upstairs and see him? And he's like, no, I have to go back. And then he's like, I have to get back to the conference, this big important conference, and I have to run the staff. And she's like, okay, well, would it be all right then if I go upstairs and close his eyes? And he's like, yeah, okay. And she starts to go up the stairs, and then he stops. Like, this is because he's swallowing it, but we can tell it's a major loss to him, and it's the first time he's kind of vulnerable with her, because he stops and he walks back to the stairs as she's going up, and he's like, duty was very important to him. He would have wanted me to finish working. And she's like, oh, I understand. Goes
and you get the vibe that he's not wrong, too.
No, he's not.
Yeah, that his father would be like...
He's right. Like, this is... And I get it. This is what I had to do when my mom died.
Yeah, on his deathbed, the father does ask, like, how's the house doing? Like, how's everything?
Yeah, he's like, don't worry about me. Go down and make sure everything in the house is all right.
Right. And so, like...
It sucks that both him and his dad wasted their lives on this fucking fading aristocracy. Gosh.
Yeah, and even when the father shows up and he's like, it's not great. And he's like, okay, well, this guy needs his feet washed or whatever. Go tend to his sore feet now. Like, he does that when his father died. He's like, okay, well,
the doctor's not needed here anymore. Go wash Drax's feet in bath salts.
Yeah. And so, like, that's the first time you see, like, the huge sacrifice. At the same time, there's some fucking Nazis. Superman's fucking chewing them out.
Trying to get Drax on his side.
Yeah. And so, like, that's sort of, like, I think the first part. And then it's, of course, the Nazis. And then you see, like, so it's like, here's his sacrifice. And now here's what he sacrificed for.
Yep.
Dirtbags. They have him dismissed to Jewish refugees, and he just does it.
Well,
and, like,
you can tell, like, he pushes back. Like,
yeah, he says like, they're good.
Well,
they're good.
They're both very good. They both, he starts listing all these things, and he ends on they're both very clean.
Yep.
Like, he's just And Darlington's like, no, I have to think about the safety of my guests.
He says, I have the well-being of my guests to consider, which was also a ahead of its time line, which is the idea of we have to make the racists and bigots not uncomfortable.
Right.
And it's like, oh, that's also relevant. He later asks about them again, and that felt sus.
Well,
where he's like, I want to hire them back on. And I couldn't get, because he's like, do you have their information? And I'm like,
oh, he feels bad. Like,
he does feel bad.
You can tell he feels bad. And then it like, Anthony Hopkins is elated. Like, he runs into the garden to talk to Emma Thompson about it.
Yeah.
To see if she knows anything about where they are, I think, as well. But it's mostly to just tell her that, like, he's like, Lord Darlington asked me to check on them. He basically, he's experiencing some relief and I guess joy over the fact that, like, Darlington also knew it was wrong. So he's like, oh, thank God, the guy I've devoted my life to isn't a total piece of shit.
Right. I have to
but that's like all that happens. That's all that happens with that.
Yes.
Because he's like, I don't know what happened to them. I tried to put them together in a house, but they would only take one and they didn't want to get split up. And I don't know what happened to them after that.
Right. Yeah, it's too late. Does he at one point, is he told to teach Hugh Grant about sex?
Yes.
Did I catch that?
Yes.
All right. And I was like, it's Hugh Grant. He knows about sex. We all know he knows about sex. But, like, that idea that Hugh Grant is sort of a man-child, where it's like he's Hugh Grant age. He's not a child. And he's like, can you tell him about the birds and the bees? Because I don't want to, so I'm going to get my butler to do it. And he, like, starts to.
It's this very, very old-timey idea.
Yeah.
I think this is, like, the first sense we get that this is kind of, we're at the end of this era. Because this is the same night that the Nazis show up, but we don't really know that that's what it is yet. I think.
Yes. Yeah.
And like he's like, oh, Hugh Grant is my godson or something, and he's about to his parents died, so I kind of feel like a father figure to him, and he's getting married, but I haven't had the chance to talk to him about the wedding night stuff. So would you go talk to him about the birth? And even Darlington's too proper to even say wedding night stuff. Like, I was more explicit there than Darlington was.
Yeah.
So like Darlington really thinks
he's like, I don't think he knows where to put it.
Hugh Grant, like 20-something-year-old Hugh Grant, hasn't had sex before.
Right.
Well, because he hasn't been married. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't even the case in your time, man.
Yeah, because Hugh Grant is also, they show like because he's also on the right side where he's like, I think these fucking Nazis suck. And at one point he's like, sit down with me. I want to talk to you about how we can do this.
It's the second time we see him when he shows up out of the blue. And that's when Emma Thompson has just told him that she's giving him her 2 weeks because she's about to leave and get married.
Right, because she gives him all the chances. She's like, I'm open for business, and he's just not taking it. Because she catches him reading a romance novel, and she knows, like, he's sweet on her. He's a romantic at heart. She's like, you're not even looking at porn. Why are you so... She says, is it racy?
Yeah, she starts, like, she's like, is it lewd? Are you in here reading lewd books?
Yeah, and she's like, this isn't even fucking porn. It's just calm down, man.
It's just some cheesy romance. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so
and then
like,
he explains like this, I learn about the world by reading. And you're like, oh, this is all he's ever done.
Right. There's a part where he's ironing the newspaper, which implies that he is reading the news too. Like it to me that imply like he is keeping
He's
up.
aware of what's going on. Yeah.
And
it's
even Hugh
right
Grant,
in front of him.
Right, and this is Hugh Grant, who is technically his better, right, according to him, basically going, you need to help me stop this. Like, this needs to be, like, because Emma Thompson has the moment where she's like, I'll quit, but she knows, like, she's not like, let's revolt, you know? But Hugh Grant is basically a man of the, like, authority to say, you need to help with this. And Anthony
He's
Hopkins,
a reporter, too. He's a journalist.
Anthony Hopkins doesn't, because, again, it's not... the Lord outranks Hugh Grant, like where it's like, no, it's
when his loyalties to Darlington. He's like, well, I can't speak on the Lord's business or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's that we didn't mention that this takes place. Well, we sorted it in two timelines basically. So it's like post-war and pre. So we're seeing all this, and then post-war we're seeing him do his hunt for Emma Thompson, where he's like runs out of gas, goes on a little adventure, and during that he's seeing the effects of post-war. And it's that where it's like he doesn't want to mention it because he's seeing like the cost of his inaction, like staying in this guy's son's room who like died in the war.
Killed in the war. Hugh Grant died in the war. Yeah.
And seeing these people talk about the Nazis and like, you know, knowing that he was on the wrong side and just kind of quietly seeing this.
Just yeah.
That's the third part, which is it's throughout because but it's him. It's like post-war and seeing like the, you know, his commitment to duty, the fact that he was committed to a man who sucked, and then what the consequences
who was
of that all were.
Firmly on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
Not
and
like
so you see that
not
part.
like an evil dude, but like a fucking clown.
Right.
Like,
and then Emma Thompson represents the other lost opportunity because she to the point where she's crying, and he walks in and he's like, "Hey, could you clean this fucking this room when you get a chance?"
He keeps
okay, bye.
He keeps almost saying it.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, "No, I don't. I didn't really mean what I said earlier." And he's like, "Oh no, that's okay. Like she tries to take back her resignation."
Right, and he just fucking deflects it. Mm-hmm. He deflects everything, and so she goes with Mr. Ben, who's like the opposite of him. He doesn't seem like she barely knows this guy. It feels like, but like they're not dating. She's just like, we're gonna get married, and I'm like, All right, fine.
Yeah, he's like a
the
former service guy too. They briefly meet earlier in the film.
Right, but he's just like, I don't like this job. I have bigger aspirations. I want to go start a little shop or a boarding school in the countryside, and like, fuck this noise. Let's go be not servants. And, you know, she does that.
And finds out he's completely unreliable.
Yeah, he sucks, but I get it.
He's like the opposite kind. He's like the inverse sort of unreliable of Anthony Hopkins. Like, Hopkins is like emotionally unavailable and unreliable.
Right.
You can't count on him for comfort or anything. But like as a coworker and friend and like everything else, like they got along perfectly. They worked together perfectly. Like he did not need any kind of help in like that aspect of his life.
Yeah.
So she winds up ironically leaving the service of Lord Darlington to be in the service of her fucking husband.
Right.
Who can't do anything for himself. Like, he screws up their business, and she is the one that ends up running her boarding house.
And she's like ready to bounce, but she has a grandkid.
Yeah, then her daughter is pregnant. She's like, well, I can't go back to Darlington Hall.
Yeah, which I get. There's also there's more Nazi stuff that I just want to note because they start being like security at the place. You get the vibe that if this ended up being the castle from Last Crusade, he'd be the butler there too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, he's just staying there.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
He'd get punched in the face by Dr. Jones.
Yeah. But yeah, he visits her in her boarding. What is a boarding school? Is it like a hostel?
Boarding house. Boarding house.
Boarding house. Oh, that's even more confusing. What's a boarding house? Is it like an inn? I never bothered to learn
Essentially,
what a boarding house is. Oh, okay. So it's what I thought it was.
I think it's like an extended stay in.
Like a hostel. It's a hostel.
Essentially,
British hostel.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, it's another missed connection at the end where she's literally riding away on the bus weeping.
Yeah, there's a beautiful moment. They both kind of tear up at different points because they're waiting when the lights go on and everybody applauds. He's looking away and his fucking eyes are haunted and they're like tearful. And then like,
which applause? Which part is this?
They all clap when the lights go on. They're when he goes to see her at the Little British Town. Yeah, on the boardwalk. Okay. And he's looking away, and it's like you can tell how fucking it's like all hitting him there almost.
Yeah, what his life could have been.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I could have done this. Could have been every Friday for the last 20 years.
Right. And then when she says goodbye at the bus, she starts weeping. So they both like have that feeling, but of course she has so much more warmth in her life. She has so much around her, and it's like Anthony Hopkins it's just him in this house.
He got nothing.
This fucking yeah, and the ending is basically fucking Christopher Reeve playing ping pong in the room that used to be this grand fucking dining room where he gave the speech, and he's like, I can't recall what you said. And then a fucking bird gets in, and they have to get it out, and he watches the bird fly away holding this ping pong paddle because he's like the bird trapped in the house.
Wants to fly, didn't have the courage to fly.
Yeah, holding the
fucking ping pong paddle.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. When does this take? It's like the 50s. So
it's like mid-50s.
He probably won't be there for like Nintendo. A Nintendo.
Oh, Lord, no.
But like maybe an Atari. Maybe his old butler ass.
Oh, man, he looks pretty old.
Yeah, I don't know.
They really slather some old guy makeup on him, which is funny because he's like considerably older than Emma Thompson in this.
Yeah.
So much so that I was not certain what the nature of their relationship was supposed to be.
I was like, are they going to fuck?
A long way through the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, is this a mentor role or is this boneration?
This is a type of movie that I don't want to say you can't make now because you could, but it's a very unique type of movie that we don't make as much, which is it's perpetual blue balls. It's no satisfaction. It's the idea of like
It's
we're
tragedy.
gonna watch a man. Yeah, and it's the worst kind of tragedy. It's he doesn't even lose really. There's nothing to lose. He doesn't gain anything to lose ultimately.
Well, he loses his entire life.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, which is like it's not like they have a fling and then she dies. It's like it's not even that.
It didn't even happen. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
lifelong misconnection. Yeah, devoting your whole life to work, believing
Yeah,
there's intrinsic honor and goodness in it, and then realizing at the end of your life that work doesn't love you back.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, whoo, brutal.
Brutal.
It's
Mortal Kombat fatality.
Yeah. They
Here,
should be.
let me just
they should
sit
do
you
remains
down.
of the day.
You're going to be a butler for 50 years. Watch
should be
all
like
the
a-
joy in your life leave you.
Should be like a Goro fatality. Where
Yeah.
he just warps you into being a butler for 50 years. Oh man.
Some punishing sorcery.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good though. It's so good. Anthony Hopkins, I was surprised he didn't win for this because it's almost all expression. It's all him like he's like a mime in this where it's like it's all like through his fucking subtle facial expressions. I guess it's a little less like a mime, but you get me where it's like everything he says is nothing it's often the complete opposite of what he's feeling.
Yes.
And he's doing so good.
It's a very good performance. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. What did it lose to?
This
1994.
is 93.
Yeah, it's the 1994 Oscars.
So Schindler's List won a bunch.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. Jurassic Park was there. It's a tough year. That's a tough year. So yeah, Schindler's List won Best Picture over Remains of the Day, over The Fugitive, over The Piano. So it's like, okay.
The Piano
Tough
got a lot
year.
of acting acting awards, I think. Who did win actor that year?
Tom Hanks in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, that's right.
Man, this is so Anthony Hopkins is oh my god. Yeah, because there's also Liam Neeson in Schindler's List, Larry Fishburne and What's Love Got to Do with It, Daniel Day-Lewis in The Name of the Father.
Yep.
And it's like, fuck, man. Then Holly Hunter and The Piano won over Emma Thompson. That is a tough
Holly
goddamn
Hunter
year.
was also nominated for The Firm that year.
Yeah.
2
You'll be
noms for Holly Hunter.
I do appreciate the Tommy Lee Jones one for The Fugitive for
Yeah,
Best
fuck yeah,
Supporting
he
Actor. Because it could have gone to so many other people. Oh my God, what a fucking brutal Oscars year. Like,
There's a lot
fuck.
of good ones.
I'd watch all these movies.
Yeah.
He
right
also,
now.
Anthony Hopkins, he won for Hannibal Lecter, right?
Yes.
So, like, whatever. It's fine. He's just killing it in everything he does. I get that. At a certain point, they're like, all right, Anthony. It's weird your name is Anthony. And like,
calm down, Tony.
Yeah. And like, you can't win them all. You just can't.
We'll give you one more the year that we could have given it to Chadwick Boseman.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I forgot about that. But yeah, it's like, he could have won for this.
Yeah.
He's incredible in this.
It's a very good performance. Like I said,
Yeah.
my only real problem with the movie is that it's a bit obvious with its epic themes.
Yeah, it's like a parable. Like it's
Yeah.
like, it's like a real.
I mean, it doesn't
it's
need
like,
to be like dense or complicated, though. I don't know why.
But
I'm
you know what I
complaining.
mean. It's like an Aesop tale. It's like the donkey and the sunflower or something like that. Where
Some
it's like,
goddamn thing.
yeah, where like what
The
it's
Muppet
about
and the
from the
fish
start.
hook. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like it's a very good like parable. It's a very good like story. Again, it's something that's like people should think about this story. Like again, that's the same as the Never Let Me Go, where it's like sort of kind of it just beats you over and over again with it. And that's sort of the point. It's like excruciating because you're just sitting there like, come on, dude, just grow a pair. You know, like, oh, fuck, you're so British. Stop being British.
Stop
just
being so goddamn British and kiss a lady.
Yeah, set the house on fire and leave. For the love of God. Because there's also this idea
Punch
throughout.
these Nazis.
Right, they imply it, as we keep saying, but it's like he's also like uniquely placed in a way to sabotage this. Where it's like he knows everything, no one thinks about him. That's why the butler does it in Mysteries, because it's like the butler is uniquely placed to get away with something. Where it's like he is, and it's that sort of the honor he thinks of, which is like, I am in a very trusted place where it's like, my point is I could never falter because they trust me with everything. I know everything about them. So I need to be this locked box. And like, I do think that is an honorable idea in other circumstances, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, if your job is to be someone's assistant, that's a tough job, right? There's so many nightmare stories. But like the good version of that is you work for someone who is paying you a lot and trying to get you elevated in life. Like that's the difference, right? Is like his place in society involves never leaving this place. It reminds me of, I watched Bly Manor recently, and there's a speech where he's like, do you think they're going to take care of you when you're older? You know, it's that vibe of like, do you think once you're too old to fucking push a mop, they're going to just let you live here?
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess ideally it would be like like I've never had a servant. I probably never will have a servant. But I imagine the ideal version is like, yeah, you keep our shit in your head and we'll shower you with riches and take care of you and see that you can have a goal and meet that goal and have satisfaction in life. Like, I feel like the ideal assistant job is a temporary job. Does that make sense? Where it's like, yeah. Like, then there's tons of that. There's tons of people who have assistants that are like, I'm
it's a stepping
training
stone
you to
on
become,
a career path. Yeah.
Exactly. But the nightmare version is, of course, and I think there's other movies and stories about that idea, which is like the assistant that they keep in their place, that they sabotage any success they might have because they need them where they are.
Yes, yeah. Ugh.
And so it's like that is, yeah. So like here it's like self-sabotage where he believes that he needs to be this lockbox, this quiet, just this cog, that it has to be a rock. And it's like he sees the nobility in that, and you could almost see the nobility in that if it weren't for like how ugly this is. You know, it's a Mary Poppins fantasy. It's a Sound of Music. It's like, it's that shit, right?
Yeah.
He has seen, he saw Mary Poppins, right? That was the 30s. When did Mary Poppins come out? Or the 50s?
I'm not sure. I think the 50s.
He's
Takes
definitely
place
seen,
in the 30s. Or
he's definitely
20s,
seen
rather.
Mary Poppins, yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure if he's ever seen a movie.
That's a good point. Why would he?
Why would he see a movie?
I could see him seeing a movie once, and it'd be like when he saw a movie, an
Not for
interview
me.
with a vampire or something. Yeah, or he'd be like, and run out. I hope it's Mary Hopkins. He'd see the cartoon penguins with the little bow ties and be like, that's offensive. That's offensive.
Just gets furious.
Punches the fucking wall on his way out.
Ah! He's like screaming in rage.
Yeah.
Ah! Nobody thinks about the butlers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I do think you're right that it's not subtle, but there's subtleties within.
Oh,
in the performance.
His performance, and yeah, it's a very good movie.
Yeah. It's what makes me understand what I assume Downton Abbey is, which I haven't seen, which is like exploring these nuances and like, you know, we love this. It's this character because I think of Alfred in Batman, which is like, that's the glorified version of like, no, you see, he likes it And
Right.
he's also a very important lockbox for Batman, where it's like if Alfred's ever like, I think I will write a book, he'd get shot in the back of the head with a batarang.
Batman would break
Yeah.
his back immediately.
Yeah. There's like this glorified version of this. And so this is like such a good, I don't want to say subversion, but like it's just like such a brutal version
Yeah.
of that.
Really examining that whole examining that whole culture.
I guess I want to see Remains of the Day with Alfred, like the same story.
Yeah.
But instead of the Nazis, he just keeps going out at night, and they never say it's Batman, but you can tell it's Batman. And at a certain point, he's just dusting like bat-shaped things in the house, and like
People
I
in the
want
crowd
that.
are like, "Oh, I think it's Batman.
I think that might be Batman.
I think he's Batman."
It's weird. It's weird
he
that
took
they
that
didn't
guy's
make it
wallet.
about Batman.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'm watching this though.
Yeah.
You tricked me into watching a Batman movie. I want to trick a bunch of like stuffy film
yeah.
snobs
I
into
want-
watching.
I want to trick a Sunday Bridge Club into
Yeah, to
watching
watch-
Batman.
All right. I have nothing else.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Good movie. It's
Good
fucking
movie,
Remains of the
yeah.
Day.
I guess the only thing left to do is watch Howard's End, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I wrote at the start of this, I've never seen this. I bet it's boring as shit and I'll love it. And
Yeah.
that was sure enough. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, yeah, this is exactly what I needed it to be.
I love being an old guy.
Yeah. This was one where like sometimes I'll watch something at my computer to take notes easier. And I was like, this is a couch movie.
Oh yeah,
I am
I
laying
gotta put
the
my
fuck
feet
back.
up for this.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you.
Sitting under a blanket.
Yeah, exactly. Drinking some tea.
Yeah.
Thank you to the scar left by seeing James Woods put a gun in his stomach gooch.
Thank you.
I assume that's your full legal name. So thank you for that. This was a delight. We did this through our Patreon where you can do custom We Just Watched episodes. There's also just for $5 a month, we have exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Spiel Boys, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Him Booze, our brand new supernatural podcast. We also watch movies every Friday night. If you want to kick in a little more, you can get in our Discord and watch movies like The Remains of the Day, which I'm like, we might watch this.
We might make you guys watch The Remains of the Day.
We've had some times where we're like, you know what would be funny if we threw this on. So you never know.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Rate, review our podcasts wherever you listen to your podcasts. Check out our new show, Badical, Badical. And, go out on motoring on a motor holiday and check out the world
Yeah.
while
why
you
not?
still have some remains of the day.
Yeah. And if anything else, just watch the scene where the guy eats shit. The old guy eats shit. Just,
oh man,
I'm
the
sure
old
there's
guy
like
just
that on a loop.
beefs it.
There's that on YouTube. Just I bet Google Remains of the Day, old man beefs it on loop.
There's a You're the Man Now, dog.
Yeah, there's got to be.
There's a
gotta
website for
be.
that.
Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as the Corlew or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at artness by justinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at starlenearts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.